Villagers, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. U.S. military base is no longer a pride to the African leader. In March 2026, the government of Botswana did something unusual. They didn't just deny hosting a U.S. military base. They called anyone claiming otherwise an enemy of the state. Did you hear that? Why the sudden aggression? We ask. Why now? After 10 years of the same rumors flying everywhere that Botswana is hosting military base of the United States of America. Today, we connect the dots between Iranian missiles in the Gulf, a massive discovery of rare earth minerals, and a regional Cold War with South Africa. On March 17, 2026, Botswana government spokesperson and the defense minister stood before Parliament to declare, "There is no American air base in Botswana. Full stop." The U.S. ambassador agreed. Case closed. Not quite. 2013, the U.S. deputy ambassador confirmed on record that Washington spent nearly $100 million constructing facilities inside Botswana's air base. 2019, the U.S. Army published photos of National Guard soldiers doing plumbing and electrical upgrades at that same site. The secret list. Leaked documents once listed Botswana as an enduring cooperative security location. Botswana reportedly asked to be moved from the list to keep the assets quiet. The real reason for the panic is February 28, 2026. After U.S. strikes on Iran, Tehran retaliated against every Gulf state. Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Qatar. None of these started the war, but they all became targets. Botswana is watching the Gulf burn on live TV and realizing that cooperative security is a magnet for missiles. Our leaders are now trying to wash their hands after seeing the abandonment, the rejection. Just weeks before this denial, a Canadian firm confirmed that Botswana sits on all 15 rare earth elements the U.S. needs to break China's monopoly. These minerals are the heart of Project Vault and forge Americans' new strategy to lock down supply chains. Where there are resources, there is interest. Where there is interest, there is military position.
Gora re na le kana dipuo tse di buega tsa gore re na le a US air base ke dumela gore khanye thalositswe ke thalosele nna gone ga gore ga gona base ya America mo Botswana. There is no USA air base in Botswana. That is a fact. That is a fact. There is no American air base in Botswana. That's a fact. But I think what we also need to accept, perhaps we need to do more. We need to do more, as the honorable member said, to dispel this. You called it a myth, but I will say to dispel this untruth, because it's not true. So, we have engaged through multilateral fora, through diplomatic channels. Perhaps the fight is not there. The fight is on the speculative platforms, such as social media and others, where things are just said without any factual consideration. They are just put out there as facts. But as I say, there is no U.S. air base in Botswana. But we also must understand that looking at the volatility of the situation, such rumors are indeed regrettable and unacceptable, because they pose a danger to our national security.
In January 2026, South Africa hosted War for Peace, a naval exercise with Russia and Iran. The U.S. was furious labeling South Africa as an adversary, slapping 31% tariffs on their goods and expelling their ambassador. Botswana is now caught in the middle with an American-funded air base within striking distance of Pretoria. Botswana must convince its neighbors it isn't a Trojan horse for U.S. interests. The U.S. doesn't need a flagpole base anymore. From drone refueling in Ghana to specialists in Nigeria and striking in Somalia, the modern model is assessing agreements. Botswana might be technically correct that there is no base, but to an enemy missile, a cooperative security location looks exactly like a target. Like Iran said, if you have their interest, you are a legitimate target. Hosting a superpower is a gamble where the house always wins. Our leaders must learn from now that these people bringing out bases in the guise of shield is never for any shield. Their bases are not there to protect us, but rather to protect their interests. Wherever they have interest in resources, they bring military bases in order to protect their interests. Not you, because there is nobody on earth that can ever come here to protect you, the African. And our leaders must start to understand that. And now we have to also understand as a youth that these people don't need to come and put up bases, physical structures that we can see, like what happened between them and Ghana. We never knew that Ghana was part of this, but there was a backdoor phone call. Even without the military bases presence in Ghana, like they claim, they still can have them do their bid as long as there is any cooperative agreement between them. And our leaders should understand that when the war ignites, like they abandoned the Gulf states, the Arabians came out. And now we even heard them coming out to tell us they are meeting to rethink if they even need U.S. military installation, because all their assets that they have labored for, gone. Iran is dealing with them in the way that they never expected. Even the Pentagon said it. They didn't expect Iran to hit them back because they thought that after hitting Iran, Iran wouldn't retaliate like Africa, like Venezuela, like Afghanistan, Kuwait, Libya, like Afghanistan, like Libya, like all the places they have ever been to. But Iran said, this is the time to change the world. We need a new world order. Look at the Strait of Hormuz, who thought that this day will come where the world largest whatever passes through is gone. It is now under the control of Iran. Then we look at what is happening in the Gulf states. The largest oil refinery being hit. And now the whole world is paying the price because things are moving high. And they're even telling us they don't even know when they'll finish with this installation because it can take about 5 years to repair the damage. Because Iran told them that if they attack any infrastructure facility, their eyes, their heartbeats will pain. And that is what is happening. So our leaders are watching what is happening, but they need to understand that we don't need the physical base anymore. Just signing cooperative or agreeing on anything with them makes Africa a legitimate target in case there is anything of that sort happening in the world. The world has changed. Having their interest makes you a target. And our leaders must understand that these things cannot protect the African. We need to build ourselves, empower ourselves. We can defend ourselves. World War II, we fought for these people. So why do we sit here to make it look as if without them we can never protect ourselves when these people are only here for their own interests and not for you, the African? We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves. from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, Southern Africa, and in Botswana.